Я не эту. Робот. Ты-ты.
The antennae are very low. Using both the pickup and but also physically tell them what's their call. One makes contacts there. Restrict audio start making everything
Чинчи надо.
By two monstrous fangs.
Tarantulas have fangs that strike down. These fangs can be quite large, as much as a third-inch long, which is on a number of different snakes. And so this is enough to do real damage.
She doesn't hear them coming.
Здесь на канал.
What she does hear is something to sensory evidence to pick up vibrations beneath the earth. And it must be and another early warning system. She carries a thick bandage-like alarm bell with 2 3-inch nerve. That's what everything creating an electric line defense.
She waits at the entrance of the door. And one is that essentially as Green walks by
А как тут, блин? Ну, блин.
This is a much more bulldog rescue.
I think the basket cricket was he did in a damaging bite, he pulled the tarantula and see its fangs.
Да он не играл уже. Такая-то фигня непонятна. На розовый, умная. Робусы с таким управлением, так? А, это я знаю.
It's got big fangs, it's got big legs,
Тоже
it's
знаю.
got hairs so that it's able to climb essentially anywhere, and it's a big, aggressive spider.
Her mortal foe, a nasty neighbor.
Суперколоу. Ты жесткий.
Is also packing serious heat. Spiked legs, deadly jaws, and a bad attitude.
О, монстр.
That attack is the best form of defense. So while the raspy cricket chows down on its latest kill, the murderess launches a surprise attack. The cricket lashes out with its solid blade. Has developed a taste for swallowing. It's stalked its injured victim to her home.
А, они этим гуляют, что?
But the cricket
Balloons locked together.
Музыку, у меня авторские права.
There's little chance of escaping from.
The murderess has met her match. She's not just eaten. She's torn apart. Few creatures leave such a bloody battleground.
А, тут геймпас, это.
The monster bug world is full of natural athletes. Some are gymnasts, others base jumpers. Then there are kickboxers and trapeze artists. But the gold medal winners are those who execute the snatch and bite. When a house centipede and a swift tree magnet meet to compete, the loser will become the winner's trophy. This is a centipede. A lean coat with just 3 speeds. Stopped, fast, and faster. With 30 legs to propel itself, it's the bug equivalent of an Olympic track and field team rolled to one.
The front legs are relatively short, the hind legs are relatively long, so the legs don't trip over one another as they're running as fast.
When the house centipede feels the need for speed, it covers up to 16.5 inches of ground every second. That's like a human sprinting at 42 miles per hour. It's a unique design. A couple of spare limbs are put to good use.
The centipede has been impossible. These are evolutionarily modified front legs that are are sickle-shaped organs that are extremely flexible and are able to inject venom into the prey, plus help tear it apart.
But deadly venom and lethal speed are useless.
Что-то незнакомое.
You can see where you go.
These centipedes
Huh.
have huge compact
Что это такое
eyes.
будет?
Here they're using vision to track their prey
Для прыжков.
related to the speed at which they're chasing.
This cockroach would do well
Это миссия высла.
but you can't outrun a gold medal sprinter.
House centipedes are incredibly voracious predators. They literally run down their prey.
Сетки. Не выглядит. Не выглядит.
But the house centipede isn't the only speedy sharp-eyed
Что за
predator
фигня?
in the rainforest arena. It's also the domain of the swift tree mantis. And accomplished all round as blood sports.
Что это там?
These are a pretty small mantis, only about an inch in length, but
Зарядить
they're
надо.
just as capable as a lot of soldiers. They can punch well above their weight.
Its opponents are hit with a deadly combination. Powerhouse limbs, mean mouth parts, deadly spikes.
The swift tree mantis is like the leopard of the bunker. It's really well camouflaged. Prey parts.
Thanks to its huge compound eyes,
The swift tree mantis has enormous eyes, incredible visual acuity. That's particularly important where both predator and prey are relying on camouflage. They can
Cool.
for a tiny shadow where there shouldn't be a shadow, or a little flicker of movement. That can be enough to give the game away.
the mantis is no slouch at concealing itself either. It's a metal when it comes to hide and seek.
Evolution has resulted in the swift trees having
You.
perfect camouflage. Imagine it's like a special forces soldier having a camo suit that allows them to match perfectly the fog that they're on. So just by standing still, they disappear.
And if their camouflage ever lets them down, they're super fast out of the starting blocks. With confidence in the world, they leave just about any predator in their wake.
The swift tree mantis is extremely alert and bold. These guys are quite confident, just brazenly stroll around this huge park that doesn't offer any nooks or crannies to hide in. That's because they know they can outrun pretty much any predator that comes by.
When the swift tree mantis and the house centipede compete for gold, this is winner takes all. Deep in the rainforest arena, two cold-blooded killers are about to slug it out for the gold medal in combined blood sport. The swift tree, it might be small, but it's not intimidating.
Swift tree mantis is extremely alert and bold. It's seemingly unafraid of aggressors. Either one is much larger than itself. When confronted, it'll stand its ground, pull some intimidating looking poses, give a wicked stare.
Is the
Yo.
or just plain fool? Its opponent, isn't backing down either.
Вот так нормально. Знакомая. Nie ma.
The mantis strikes first.
Oj!
It catches the centipede off guard. But the bigger centipede counters and stabs the mantid with its venom claws.
Ruszyli mnie. Wyjdę.
Then starts ripping its victim apart while it's still alive.
Wow! 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 Wow!
The mantid's insides get sucked up like a sports drink. In the bug world, there's only room for one on the winner's pool. There are no silver medals.
Coś takiego.
When bugs go to war, there are no rules, no sense of fair play, and no concept of picking on someone your own size. When a marble scorpion takes on a
Trzeba.
trapdoor, size will matter. But will bigger be better? This ancient rainforest is home to one of the bug world's most durable survivors, the marbled scorpion. Its weapons might be primitive, but they've been tested by time. Scorpions have chased down their prey for more than 300 million years.
They're really evolutionary survivors in that they are effective predators that know how to get the job done.
The scorpion's tools of the trade are an ostentatious display of murderous intent. Anything but concealed weapons.
Scorpions have two main weapons. They have their pinchers, where they're able to grab prey, hold it, and tear it apart. In addition, they have the tail with a venomous stinger at the end. So they're able to grab prey, crush it, and sting it.
Scorpion venom can kill in an instant. But its eyesight is weak. Instead, the scorpion locates its prey with sensory organs that work like high-tech antennae.
Scorpions.
They've
Skorpion.
got something behind their fourth pair of legs on their back. Act like radar. So they're very sensitive to chemical information, to vibratory information on the ground below them.
The marbled scorpion is also very wily. This savage had no idea it was about to become lunch. Grabbed and stung, it's carried away to be ripped apart and devoured. Like spiders, scorpions prefer their food runny, draining the liquefied flesh of this cockroach. It's like sipping a meat martini. When a marbled scorpion goes hunting in the rainforest, most small creatures give it a wide berth. But not all are so easily intimidated. Much smaller in stature and just as determined is the trap-jaw ant. And like the scorpion, it comes armed with two fearsome weapons. One at the front, one at the back.
The trapjaw sting is very potent, and because they can use it over and over again. They can come in for a first strike, back off, and then just wait for the venom to start to take effect, and then come in for another series of stings to finish the prey off.
But the front end is also loaded with a hard-hitting weapon.
The trapjaw mandibles open full 180 degrees, much like a crossbow, and then it's set, all that force waiting. The minute something touches one of the delicate sensory hairs on the inside, snap shut with incredible force.
The peak force is equal to 3 times the ant's body weight, and the speed is astonishing. 2,300 times faster than the blink of a human eye.
The force is so strong, it can actually pop the prey open, sort of like a melon being crushed to expose the soft inside. What a way to go.
But those jaws don't come alone. They arrive en masse.
Trapjaws are very effective at defending themselves in one-on-one fights. However, because they're a social creature that lives together in large colonies, they can work together to defend the individual or the entire nest.
Trapjaw ants aren't afraid of a battle. Neither is the marbled scorpion. And it won't be long before their combat skills are put to the test. As darkness creeps over the rainforest, the marbled scorpion goes looking for food. Also out scouting for a meal, a trapjaw ant. Both the trapjaw ant and the marbled scorpion have a sting at the rear and some serious scissors up front.
When the trapjaw mandibles snap shut, that popping noise we hear is actually a shock wave that's so strong, it's like an air gun going off, and it can actually stun the prey.
What the fuck?
But getting close enough to a scorpion for that is dangerous. Its long arms knock the bristles down like bowling pins. And there are those pincers to confront. Long and strong. They're a deadly weapon, especially when the scorpion's foes are small.
Although the marble scorpions don't have particularly large paws, they are really suited for grabbing ants. They're able to grab little things quite effectively and crush it.
The ant
That's a
forages,
dope.
unaware of the scorpion camouflaged on the rock. Eventually, it sees it. And the ant has only one response: attack. The scorpion leads with its left, but can't score a hit. The ant counters with sharp jabs from its jaws, like a stun gun. Each blow sends shockwaves through the scorpion's body. It's hurting badly.
Well, the scorpion has weapons on both ends, so does the trapjaw. But what it really wants to avoid is that scorpion sting. So its best strategy is going to be get in a quick first sting, back off, wait, and then once the venom kicks in, come back for a series of killer blows.
The strategy is working. The scorpion is down, but not out. The lone ant calls for reinforcements.
Oh, well.
These ants, they're constantly in communication with each other through touch, body movement, the use of chemical signals.
The call to arms is fast and effective.
Oi.
Troops arrive in force.
This doesn't look good. Scorpion should get out there as quick as possible.
The scorpion is totally outnumbered.
Повреждение получила.
Stingers plunge into its body, all over its limbs. Multiple stings send deadly venom coursing throughout the hapless scorpion's body cavity. Totally paralyzed, those once fearsome claws are useless. The marble scorpion is destined for a marble mausoleum.
A scorpion known for its venom is being taken down by an ant that isn't known for its sting, but is absolutely known for its jaws.
It's the ultimate indignity. A rainforest supremo is dragged from its rocky pedestal, cut apart, and fed to ant larvae. In the world of bugs, it's a jungle out there. And there's only one law in this jungle. It's eat or be eaten. When two bizarre spiders go into battle, it'll be a bug fight with a difference. One jumps, the other spits. For all its benign natural beauty,
Короче,
this harbors some truly odd creatures.
просто не хватает.
The metallic green jumping spider looks like an eight-legged disco dancer. But it's an agile, spring-loaded killer.
Jumping spiders typically make the largest leaps to get from one location to another. When they're getting ready to attack, they'll use much smaller leaps so they can aim with absolute precision and get the bite in that perfect spot.
The jumping spider might be tiny, from end to end, no more than a thumbnail. What it lacks inside, it makes up for with sheer athletic ability. And it's got something else. Range.
Jumping spiders display a level of awareness that is remarkable, far beyond most other spiders or bugs. They're intelligent and inquisitive, but most remarkably, they can adapt their hunting as the situation changes.
It has all the animal cunning of a jungle cat.
Jumping spiders are sometimes referred to as eight-legged cats, mostly because of their very large eyes. But they're also very feline in their predatory behavior. They'll stalk their prey, they'll circle it, they'll leap onto it and then bring it down with their fangs.
In the human world, stalking is a crime. In a bug's world, it's a skill that puts food on the table. But the jumping spider isn't the only clever predator in this jungle. There's a serious rival, the only creature on planet Earth that spits deadly silk from its fangs.
The spitting spiders are generally pretty small, shy spiders. They've got 6 eyes, which is relatively unusual. And they've got an absolute unique weapon, and that's the ability to spit silk. They rear up, they start vibrating their fangs, and then ejecting silk out of their fangs. It's really sticky. It contracts and effectively just pins an insect or another spider down to the ground.
Most spiders have silk glands in their abdomens, But the spitting spider comes with reinforcements. 2 extra glands in its oversized head.
The spitting spiders have modified their venom gland. The front of the venom gland produces venom the same way in other spiders, but the back end is modified so that it's producing a combination of glue and silk.
The deadly concoction is about to be unleashed on this unsuspecting cockroach.
Нормально.
So fast the human eye can barely see it. The sticky silk shoots out and pins the cockroach to the bar.
It'll come in and sting the prey very rapidly and then back off and wait until the venom actually works on the roach.
A cockroach isn't much of a foe. For a spitting spider, it's just food. But it's a different matter when the food can fight back.
While the jumping spider might look like it's missed its calling as a disco dancer, this is not a win. If it can get into a position to attack the spitting spider, it will.
The spitting spider, it depends on if the jumping spider is in the right range and it's able to respond rapidly enough and pin that jumping spider down.
In a bug world jungle, 2 pocket-sized predators are on the prowl. One, an expert stalker, able to launch itself at an enemy like a jungle cat. The other, armed with an assault weapon straight from science fiction. Fans that spit deadly silk with pinpoint accuracy.
The spitting spider is able to shoot gluey spit out of its fangs at incredible speeds that rapidly pins down its prey.
It's just a matter of time before the predators cross paths and cross swords. Like a leopard, the jumping spider has stalked its victim, silently, relentlessly. It leaps at the spitting spider, but it's off the mark.
The jumping spider has made a mistake here. It has lost that advantage of surprise. The spitting spider has all of the advantage.
The spitting spider takes a shot. It goes wide, but some of the sticky silk clips the jumping spider's leg. And the spitting spider fires off another round. Only in slow motion can the airborne mass of sticky silk be seen. As the jumping spider is glued flat in the fork of a branch, the spitting spider comes in to administer the kill shot.
This just shows how important it is to get it right the first time. If you don't, there's a really good chance you won't be around to fight another day.
The jumping spider will never jump again, as its insides are sucked out. All that remains is the solitary reminder to look before you leap. On the bug battlefield, there are many options. Camouflage is no defense against brute force. Fearsome looks don't faze seasoned killers. Awesome weaponry is worthless when you can't land a strike. And a lone fighter has no answer for an overwhelming force. On the monster bug battlefield, the only decider is death. In a monster bug war, there's treachery at every turn. Enemies with super weapons.
Real big, nasty jaws.
Foes with superpowers.
They just leap onto it and sink the fangs in.
In a bug war, your best chance of staying alive is to take nothing for granted.
Big monster, big walls.
In this, magical forests are filled with shape-shifting monsters. But in the bug world, there really are such beasts. They morph into their eerie environment to catch their victims off guard. What happens when a grey tree runner mantis and a lichen huntsman drop their invisibility cloaks? Their true and deadly colors are revealed.
Как ты быстро кончилось? Это упа.
One of the most powerful tricks a magician can master is to make things disappear. And in the monster bug world, invisibility can mean the difference between life and death.
Camouflage is probably the most important form of defense in the bug world,
4000.
even for really capable fighters like Mantis. Once your foes spot you, you have a good chance of being injured or even killed. They can't see you, they can't hurt you.
The grey tree runner mantis has perfected the art of blending in. It moves about the forest like a shadow.
This guy is like a ninja who
Yeah.
can slip through the enemy territory without being seen, and then launches lightning-fast attack, catching the prey totally unaware.
Even the mantis's massive
Fight
transformed eyes are striped, so their enemies can't see them in the trees. Made from hundreds of tiny units called omatidia, they're among the sharpest binoculars in the insect world. Detecting prey where others only see shadows.
The size of the grey tree runner's eyes gives a great indication of how important they are. They can spot things that other bugs would have no chance of seeing.
Muszę przeczytać.
Hits its target with complete accuracy. It grabs this grasshopper like a kung fu master snatches a passing fly. But holding it down is a bigger challenge. The grasshopper's legs bristle with spikes. One well-placed kick could deliver a permanent KO. But the mantis has raptorial legs. Once you're trapped, there's little chance of escape.
The raptorial legs of all mantises are extremely efficient weapons, even on small species like the grey tree runner. Once they've spiked their prey, they hold onto it while the mandibles start inflicting the serious wounds.
In prison, the grasshopper pays the ultimate price. It's eaten alive. There's no mercy in this forest. Not even for the mantis. There are other invisible eyes watching it. The lichen huntsman takes the power of invisibility to the ultimate level.
huntsman's ability to hide out in the open gives it a real predatory advantage.
If the mantis is like a forest shadow, then this spider is like the ghostly phantom of the underworld. She could be anywhere, anytime, and you'd never know.
They're relatively flat spiders that pin themselves against the bark of trees. They've got lots of hairs on their legs that make them blend into the background. They're almost impossible to find.
Those clusters of hair not only camouflage, they double as motion detectors for unwitting passers-by. If all else fails, there's her all-seeing eyes. Four at the front, two on top, and another pair at the rear. Poised in the perfect ambush position, body flattened, head hidden. She has 360-degree vision. At the first sight of prey, the phantom morphs from ghost to demon.
The huntsman spiders have rotated the legs so that they're lateral to the body. And what this means is that they're able to move sideways as effectively as they're able to move forwards. This gives them a much wider range of motion so that they're able to move around fast.
As this cockroach discovers, there's no sneaking past the ghost who waits. The cockroach won't make this mistake twice. The sharp-eyed gray tree runner mantis is nowhere near as naive. It knows the perils of passing this ghostly gatekeeper. But it too wants another meal, and a fellow shapeshifter would make a tasty treat. The gray tree runner mantis is a stealthy killer in a camouflage suit. It springs from nowhere to snatch its prey and eat it alive. Then disappears back into the forest like a shapeshifter. It's not the only ghostly shadow in the forest. The lichen huntsman also has extraordinary powers of invisibility. So when two masters of camouflage come face to face, conflict is inevitable.
You've got a face-off here with the mantid with its good vision and the huntsman spider very close looking at the mantid. And so the question is, who's going to move first?
It's a poker game where it's high stakes, life or death. Just inches away from its opponent, the fox tries to bluff with the
The mantis certainly isn't behaving like he's scared. He's almost mocking the spiders and just grooming himself, not even concerned about you at all. He's probably relying on his speed to run away if things get a little bit too much.
But the spider is not fooled.
Wow! Lustige Größe.
No amount of speed will protect the mantis now. The ghostly spider's fangs pierce the mantis's thorax like massive poison darts, stopping it dead in its tracks. The spider is at leisure.
So what you're going to do is she'll mash up the mantid, regurgitate digestive enzymes, suck up the prey, Depending on the size of the mantid, it'll take anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours.
When it's over, it's time to put out the trash. And the phantom of the underworld fades invisibly back into the forest. In the dead of night, the forest is a dangerous place. It's crawling with cold-blooded killers. And sometimes the difference between life and death all comes down to making one wrong move. What happens when a destructive katydid clashes with a tent spider? The home ground advantage may not be enough. From a distance, it looks like a misty cloud in a rainforest canopy. Don't be deceived. Enter this gossamer, and you're on a guaranteed journey through peril. It's the hunting ground of the tent spider. And worse still, where there's one tent spider, there are hundreds.
O, co ich tam?
Tent spiders live in groups. Each spider has its own web, but it's connected by flame lines. And the big advantage of this is that they're able to feel vibrations throughout the colony. This is particularly helpful if a potential predator comes through. Less than 1% of all the spider species in the world live in groups of any sort, and these are known as social spiders. This particular spider lives in colonies of anywhere from 5 up to hundreds of webs, with the flame lines between the webs connected.
Like a cooperative fishing fleet, with all its nets linked together. The trap is so vast, so complex, escape is unlikely.
Tent spiders have unusual webs. Instead of vertically oriented flat orb webs, their web is horizontally oriented. It's got a peak so that it is essentially a three-dimensional tent. Insects that fly in get knocked down and fall onto the web.
I w łóżko popadają.
With bright markings to warn off aerial predators, these spiders hang out at the very top of their own personal tents, upside down and waiting for company.
Tent spiders, like other orb weavers, have 3 claws on the ends of their feet. In between the claws, they have kind of an oily gland. Although they have the 8 legs, they're just barely touching their silk.
The special oil keeps tent spiders from sticking to their own web.
Mucha.
This fly has made a fatal error. The tent spider senses vibrations. It drops onto its prey in a split second.
They grab it in their 3rd legs, and then they wrap it up. Using their legs to pull swaths of silk. They wrap up their prey very effectively.
Once the victim is wrapped, it's bite time. Behind feelers called pedipalps are menacing fangs that curve inwards to pierce and rip their prey. Within moments, the tent spider is back at the top of her silken dome, devouring her tightly wrapped snack.
Блин, опять не хватает.
Just yards away,
Да что ж такое, блин?
for a snack,
Монет не хватает.
another equally terrifying ring-tossed fighter.
Стартовал.
The destructive king. Its super long antenna.
The antennae are at least as long as the body, so this allows the katydid to sense prey approaching from quite some distance away. They're incredibly active and mobile, just cruising all the time, checking out, getting the cues, trying to get that little elusive chemical trail to tell it what's approaching or what's recently been around.
Its lime green body is near perfect camouflage. When it's time to eat, is all business.
Можно проверить.
Whether it's gorging on a giant cicada or disemboweling a live caterpillar.
Не так.
This guy is a bolt cutter on 6 legs, and to make things worse, he's in the habit of eating his victims alive. He'll slice through the exoskeleton, open it up, and start munching on soft bits beneath.
It's the essence of horror, a bestial slaughter, done with playful precision.
Не забыл.
But there's more to this killer than just a big
Что-то не
mouth.
так. Значит, какая-то проблема есть.
2 pair of legs are lined with twin rows of spines. And once a prey is locked into those, it's pretty much time to call the undertaker.
But those spiky limbs aren't just used in death grip. They have defensive capabilities as well. Katydid front legs come with built-in sonic detectors.
Their hearing organs, called tympana, are located on the forelegs just above the spines. They use these to detect the calls of other katydids, but they can also use them to listen out for the sounds of bats echolocated. This allows them to avoid becoming prey to a bat when they're feeding
Что
in
ж не так?
treetops at night.
Что за проблема?
The destructive katydid and the tent spider are both sit and wait spirits, but they still take the occasional midnight stroll.
Аккумулятор у меня.
One of them will regret not staying home.
Аккумулятор
Strung
стоп.
across the rainforest canopy is a silken cloud of death. Or
Казалось, что
anything
аккумулятор
that
стоп.
is guaranteed escape.
Аккумулятор не забыл. С аккумулятором не забыл.
The spiders will attack any prey that's small enough for it to handle.
This destructive katydid has few rivals on terra firma.
Я думаю, да что такое? Аккумулятор.
When she takes to the
Взял.
air,
Ну, вот что он поврежден.
she's vulnerable.
Понятно. Значит,
The tent
давай
spiders
перед... Понятно.
have lousy vision, but they are incredibly sensitive to vibrations, as in they're very, very responsive to airborne vibrations and vibrations in their silk.
The katydid's unplanned landing is met by a barrage of legs and spider silk.
И все.
They wrestle frantically.
As long as the katydid is stuck in the web, it is at great risk of becoming prey to the tent spider. It needs to cut its way out and fast.
Все. Полностью готов.
If those jaws do break free, the fight could turn in an instant.
This katydid have really big, nasty jaws that could totally do in this spider. It's important to the spider to keep that katydid as far away as it possibly can from its body while still entangling it further, wrapping it further in silk.
Все.
The katydid tries to kick through the silk with its sturdy hind legs. It snips at the web.
It's really a race against time. It can easily cut itself out of the web. That's not the problem. The problem is, can it do it before it's attacked by the spider and pumped full of that?
The spider must move fast.
What it needs to do is it needs to get in there, bite the katydid, and pump as much venom as it can in there, but still make sure that that katydid can't bite it.
The tent spider makes its move.
Это, значит, блин. О,
It's
действительно
up
меня.
to the venom to do its deadly work.
Это то же самое. Воздушный, масляный ток.
Even as it begins shutting him down, the katydid continues to fight. But it's too late. Today, venom wins. And the silken cloud of death claims another victim. In the bug world, many things that creep, crawl, and slither share the same patch of land. They also share a primeval urge to kill
Воздушный,
on
масляный снизу.
When a giant rhinoceros beetle encounters a swarm of voracious meat ants, it's a conflict that will end in blood. Rhinoceros beetles are like tanks on the bug battlefield. They're among the biggest of all the beetles, titans of the bug world.
Rhinoceros beetles aren't misnamed. They're big, they're kind of clumsy, they have a thick, heavy, sclerotized exoskeleton that is incredibly hard to pierce. It covers most of their body, and rhinoceros beetles are awfully strong.
On a power-to-weight ratio, these battle bugs are the strongest animals on the face of the earth.
It's estimated that a rhinoceros beetle is able to push or carry as much as 850 times its body weight. We're talking that a human could lift as much as 65 tons. This is a crazy heavy amount that this rhinoceros beetle is able to carry.
For all its brute force, this monster mostly eats rotting fruit, which provides all the fuel it needs to wrestle a rival.
The males and males alone have these big horn-like structures that act like levers.
Each male has two forked horns, one on the head, the other on the top of the prothorax. As a weapon, they work like a pair of sharp tongs to catch and dispatch an opponent. When two males come to blows, the reason is always the